You think this is the right one? Tony Flores, but I don't hear nobody.
want to go on Mr. Johnson? Mr. Lee, did you need Miss Castilla brought up?
I do need Ms.
Okay.
Castilla brought up. And I also have Mr. Mendoza here, but I need to speak with him through the interpreter quickly before we can proceed.
And that must be Mr. Johnson on the post. Have you spoken with him?
No, the guy on the jail is Mr. Herrick.
Oh, that's Dustin Herrick?
Yep.
All right. I don't see Mr. So you can check on Mr. Johnson if I think he's brought over, but I'm not sure.
Yes, we are prepared to proceed on Mr. Johnson whenever he's available.
All right. So Megan can go get Miss Castilla. And how about any of the that's a brand new clock. I didn't even notice that. We've had no clock for so long.
Right.
Now we have a clock that allegedly works.
Upon information and belief.
Yeah, it seems to be working, kind of. So, Mr. Staples, how did you want to proceed?
We're ready on Herrick and Hersey, Your Honor. Both
All right.
of those are unrepresented.
All right, let's go on Mr. Eric. That'll clear up the room.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 2403-785. That's the City of Lansing versus Dustin Herrick. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples for the City of Lansing.
And sir, you are Dustin Herrick, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Herrick?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I will note for the record that Mr. Herrick has rejected the assistance of a public defender. He did speak with a colleague from my office, Ms. Nichols Linedecker. The indication is at this point he is willing to plead guilty as charged with a Killebrew agreement to no upfront jail. And so that would be how we are proceeding.
Is that a fair statement, Mr. Herrick?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So this would be a plead as charged to false information. And I'm gonna make sure I have that. That's a 90-day misdemeanor.
Correct, Your Honor.
And is that a $300 fine?
It is a City of Lansing, so it is $500.
$500 fine. And there's a Killebrew agreement between Mr. Herrick and the City Attorney's Office of Killebrew of no jail.
Correct, Your Honor.
And is that a fair statement, Mr. Herrick?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you understand that if I were to sentence you to any jail, upfront jail, you'd have the opportunity to withdraw your plea. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And you've had the opportunity to speak. You've had the opportunity to understand that you are not represented by counsel today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So you have several jury trial rights in this misdemeanor offense, and I'll walk you through each one of those misdemeanor rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses are brought against you, to have the court order any witnesses appear in your defense, to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. You understand these jury trial rights, Mr. Herrick?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If you please accept, you will give up the claim the plea was a result of any promises other than what we've put on the record, or threats that was not your choice to plead guilty. You'd also be giving up the right to appeal anything from trial. Since you won't be having a trial, you'll be pleading guilty to the 90-day misdemeanor and or $500 fine. Is it your wish today to plead guilty to the 90-day misdemeanor and or $500 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right. I'm gonna bring your attention back to December 26, 2024, at the offense location of North Cedar Street and the outer near East Saginaw Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you present at that time on North Cedar Street and East Saginaw Street in the city of Lansing, Ingham County?
Yes, I was, Your Honor.
And at that time, were you approached by law enforcement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And at that time, did you furnish false information to law enforcement?
I did, Your Honor.
And what was that information in regards to your name or your date of birth?
My name and date of birth.
Okay. Anything towards a factual basis, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
So I find the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. Mr. Herrick, are we looking to refer this to probation?
I think immediate sentencing is appropriate, Your Honor.
All right. Do we have time incarcerated on this? From arraignment, I'd say.
I don't know, Your Honor.
Mr. Herrick, how long have you been incarcerated on this offense?
I've been in jail ever since the day that the incident had occurred, Your Honor.
All right. From arraignment date then?
No, since the 26th of December, I've been in jail.
That's like 30 something.
Yeah, I will say, Your Honor, I know that there was this took place as part of an investigation into another offense.
All right.
So I don't know if he's got time on this file or another file.
All right. He's PR bonded on this file,
Okay.
so there shouldn't be. So I don't know what's holding him, but it's not this file.
Here's a pending.
Okay. And what's that stuff?
$214.
The nature of the charge.
I don't know.
All right, so we'll go to immediate sentencing on this issue as charged. You're not being held on this file, Mr. Herrick. That you've even been PR bonded on this file. You're being held on the felony, which is set in front of this court on February 14th. I think that's an R&O. So we'll set. So I would think at arraignment date, he's got a day in. Happened on the 26th and he was arraigned on the 27th. So I'll send you to 1 day and then 1 day credit. Fines and costs of $200. So it's $100 fine, $100 cost. Crime victims' rights fee of $75, state fee of $50. I'll give you a grand total on that. That'd be $325. So it'll be $325 to the city of Lansing concerning this false information ticket. Mr. Herrick, do you need some time to make that payment to the city of Lansing?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to put it out 90 days just to be, because you still got to get the wrap up the other case in that. So give me a date post 90 days.
May 5th.
May 5th. Okay. So we'll set payment to the city of Lansing. Can be made by May 5th. For $325. That can be made online, in person, or by phone. Mr. Herrick, that should give you some time to resolve some of the other files well, we know you have one file, one felony file in front, and that'll give you some time. You can make, if you're able to, once you're released, you can make a payment on the City of Lansing payment to 325 as long as it's all paid by May 5th. All right, sir?
Okay.
All right. Anything else for the record in 2403-785, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
You should be all set, Mr. Herrick. So this case is done, and you should be full payment must be made to the city of Lansing by May 5th. All right, sir?
All right. Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you. You said another procurator.
Mr. Hersey, and that should be quick. Ms. Hersey, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. So we're going to call your case, ma'am.
Okay.
We're in the record in docket 24L2888-013. That is the city of Lansing versus Henry Hersey. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And ma'am, you are Henry Hersey, is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, I can't hear you now.
Oh, hold on.
There you, now I can hear you.
Oh, yes.
You are Henry Hersey?
Yes.
All right, you can hear me all right, Miss Hersey?
I can hear you fine.
All right, this is the time set for a city of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, the city would move to dismiss, as Ms. Hersey does have a valid license at this point.
All right, Ms. Hersey, the city have moved to dismiss without prejudice concerning this matter. That means that the city could reissue if they choose to, but realistically, for our purposes today, the case is dismissed. All right, ma'am?
Okay, thank you.
All right. That's all for the record in 24L2888-013. Thank you, everybody, for your appearance. You're all set, Ms. Hersey.
All right, thank you.
Do you want to go?
Then, Your Honor, we have Mr. Blackman here on Timothy Jester. I think that's just going to be resetting for a new
All right,
date.
let's
So
do that one. And you'd also, I think you have a lawyer behind you or someone with you.
that's Katie, Mrs. Nichols Linedecker. She's an assistant
All
city
right.
attorney in our office.
How are you, ma'am?
Good, thank you.
How are you, Fred?
Good, Judge. My client's in Bear Creek.
All right. So we want to waive his appearance.
Yeah, I've talked to him about that.
Okay.
He gave me permission to stand in for him.
Timothy Jester. All right. All right, so we're on the record in docket 2401-655. That is the city of Lansing versus Timothy Jester. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Black.
Your Honor, Fred Blackman on behalf of Mr. Jester, as I indicated before, he's in Bear Creek right now. He recently was admitted, I would say within the last 2 weeks, Your Honor. And I believe it's a 90-day stay for him. If we do reset it, I probably can get him up on Zoom next time. Or maybe I can resolve the matter with the city attorney.
With the
and
city. However you choose. I mean,
well, I could maybe reset it in 30 days and then we'll
Sure.
get together and maybe
Okay.
hopefully be able to do something.
all right. Is that a fair statement, Mr. Staples? We'll reset this with the defendant being in Bear Creek. I said Bear
Bear
Creek, it's
River,
Bear
Bear-
River, it's Bear River. I don't know why I said Bear Creek. We will adjourn for 30 days.
Yeah.
30 days. Waive the appearance of the defendant. And what date did you want to place it for 30-day adjournment?
March 3rd at 9.
March.
Judge, we have a week after that.
Oh, are you
I'm gonna be out of the country.
okay? Yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
I don't have the following week. Let me see. March 17th at 9.
That's fine.
All right, March 17th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we reset for March 17th at 9 o'clock. That'll give the parties some time to negotiate. And then And then if Mr. Jester needs to come via Zoom, he can come on that day. All right. Anything else for the record in 2401-655, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Black? You're all set.
Thank you,
Good to
guys.
see you.
Yeah, I approach.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Sorry about. On the Samsung cell phone in the Zoom courtroom, could you identify yourself?
Stephen Doty.
Stephen Jody. All right, let me have you. I'm gonna have you renamed. So, Mr. Doty, you're here for your 9:30.
Yes, I am.
All right. And then on the Motorola cell phone, would you please identify yourself?
Stephen Doty.
Yep, Mr. Doty, I have you. You're all set. You've been renamed. And then on the Motorola, yes, you just have to mute. You just unmuted. What's your name, ma'am or sir?
I'm Anthony Cervantes.
Anthony Cervantes, you're here for your 9:30. All right, stand by. You're in the right place. I just had to make sure I knew who was here. That is the City of Lansing versus Kyron Kemp. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
Assistant Public Defender James Harris here on behalf of Mr. Kemp.
And sir, you are Kyron Cornell Kemp, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Kemp?
Yes, I can.
All right, this is the time set for pretrial, City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I will defer to Mr. Harris.
Mr. Harris.
Your Honor, Mr. Kemp is making attempts to get his license back. He has made some progress getting some of the fees paid off, as he indicated. We'd be requesting one adjournment to see if he can maybe make some more progress on that before, as we consider the city's offer.
All right, and you have no objection to the adjournment, Mr. Staples?
No, Your Honor.
So we'll adjourn for the stated reasons on both the traffic signal. We'll adjourn on the traffic signal and the no ops. That's February 3rd. We'll reset for 30 days out. Sorry.
Does he remember that or just?
He's got an accompanying traffic ticket. I think it's probably two.
Yeah, I think
There's a traffic ticket that's a civil infraction and then a misdemeanor.
is that perhaps defaulted, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Okay, that's defaulted.
Okay, thank you. March 17th, at 9, please.
You say, Ms. Hogan, you say, what time?
March 17th at 9:30.
Thank you.
17 at 9:30. All right, we've reset this for March 17th at 9:30 for the adjourned pretrial. Anything else for the record in 23-01975, Mr. Staples?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
No, Your Honor.
You should receive notice from my court officer concerning that date of March 17th at 9:30. Thank you for your appearance today.
Yep. Said yes to the preferential answer. We wouldn't be in this position. The cheating is 135. This is 100 left.
The city
The
attorney.
PBT is inadmissible. But probably not. I mean, give me a second. I'll look at the file. I've got to do a couple other things, but.
Then, Mr. Staples, we have Doty, Jeffries, and Love and Cervantes on. I don't know if any of those were.
I think most of those are, I know Love is represented. I'm not sure about Doty. Doty is not.
How about Cervantes?
Cervantes.
Cervantes is not represented, Your Honor.
Okay.
So you let me know if you need to talk to them or.
Yeah, someone from our office is currently talking to
All right.
Ms. Easterling, who is also unrepresented.
Okay.
We've got quite the slew of unrepresented people today, it would seem. Do we have? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Love is.
Your Honor, if Mr. Love is on and we can.
All right.
we can-
Robert Love. All right, Mr. Love, you can unmute.
Right.
All right. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-03610. That is people of the city of Lansing versus Robert Love. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
Assistant Public Defender James Harris here on behalf of Mr. Love for the Union County Public Defender's Office.
And sir, you are Robert Love, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you can hear me all right, Mr. Love?
I can.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, the city would move to dismiss as Mr. Love has a valid license, and this is his first appearance.
And is that a fair statement, Mr. Harris?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Love, this looks like okay. This is a ticket in regards to file 24-03610. The city has moved to dismiss without prejudice, which means that people could reissue if they choose to, but realistically today, the case is dismissed. All right, sir?
Yes.
Anything else for the record in 24-03610, Mr. Staples?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
No, Your Honor.
All right, you're all set, sir. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Mr. Cervantes on Zoom, Your Honor.
Yes.
If I may just briefly inquire and confirm that he does not wish to speak to a public defender.
All right, Mr. Cervantes, you can unmute.
All right.
All right, sir, you are Anthony Cervantes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And it's my understanding you do not wish to speak to a public defender, is that correct?
I don't think so, no. Or yeah, I think that is right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
So do you want to speak with a public defender or do you want to go forward?
No, sir. I don't.
If
We
you
can
don't
just
want
move
to speak with a
forward.
public defender, you just want to go forward.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you want to talk with them? And are you you're Miss Nichols Lidendecker?
Linedecker, Your Honor.
Linedecker.
I apologize. Nobody told me it wouldn't fit on a credit card.
No,
we
you're
are-
fine. I just want to make sure I know who all right, so Mr. Cervantes, I'm gonna put you in a room with an assistant city attorney so you can discuss this case, all right?
All right.
All right, so you're already in room 2, ma'am.
Thank you. I'll be right
So,
back.
yeah. So, Mr. Cervantes, I'm gonna put you in room 2.
All right.
So you should get a prompt to go to room 2.
Trial will be 30, 60 days.
Then Mr. Staples, who did,
I guess if we could perhaps inquire the same of Mr. Doty, just to
All
ensure
right.
that he is.
right, Mr. Doty, I do not have you represented by counsel. Did you want to speak with the public defender's office or did you want to go forward on your own?
I'll go forward.
All right. Did you want him placed in the room right after?
Yes, if you would, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Doty, once the city attorney is finished meeting with Mr. Cervantes, I'm going to put you in a room with the city attorney so you can discuss some of the legal issues that led to the filing of this complaint. All right, sir?
Very good.
All right, so stand by. You'll go in right after I move Miss Nichols Leidendecker to the room. Miss Leidendecker, did you want me to put you in a different room or can you get back to room 2? Oh, she's.
I was trying to see if they got me. Hello?
Mr. Jeffries, you're in the right place, so just stand by, all right, sir?
All right, thank you very much.
I don't have you represented by counsel today, so you do not have counsel today, is that correct?
Yes.
I was supposed to have them.
You spoke with the public defender's office?
Yes, they called me and everything. Called me at home.
All right. Oh, I see. Yeah, I do have, let me find out who the public defender is, and then we'll call your case, all right?
Very well.
On the iPhone, can you please identify yourself? You just came into the Zoom courtroom.
Wendell Allen.
Say that again, sir.
Wendell Allen.
Mr. Allen, you're here for your 10 o'clock?
Yes.
All right, stand by. We'll call your case in a second.
All right.
All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-02740. That is the City of Lansing versus Ashley Bynum. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
Assistant Public Defender James Harris here on behalf of Ms. Bynum in the Ingham County Public Defender's Office.
And ma'am, you are Ashley Nicole Bynum, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. This is a time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, we were just provided this morning with a copy of Ms. Bynum's assessment. So we would request the shortest possible adjournment. We just need some time to review that and have a communication with the public defender. And we should be ready to proceed.
Is that a fair statement, Mr. Harris? My understanding is that they do request an assessment so that they can make an offer, and they just got it, and it's got to be reviewed.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll reset the pretrial. So negotiations are to continue, and the assessment's done. And we'll reset for
February 24th at 9.
February 24th at 9 o'clock. So the pretrial is reset for February 24th at 9 o'clock. You'll get a notice from my court officer. Ms. Bynum, I would expect an offer to be made after the city attorney gets the opportunity to review the assessment. And so we'll go from there on February 24th. Anything else for the record in 24-02740, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Bynum, you're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Ms. Leindecker, did you want to go back to room 2 to talk to Mr. Doty?
Yes, I can do so. I have relayed the contents of my discussion with Mr. Cervantes to Mr. Staples, so I anticipate that he should be prepared to proceed on that matter. But I will go ahead and enter in the breakout room that I am invited to and see.
Okay.
Room 2,
Well,
yes.
I'll move you to room 3.
Oh.
So you should get a prompt to go to room 3, and then I'll move I'll do Mr. Doty to room 3.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So Mr. Doty, you should get a prompt to go to room 3.
Then, yes, we can call Mr. Cervantes if you'd like, Your Honor. Or I believe, I don't know if Mr. Harry is willing to go on Ms. Castilla.
Let me go to Ms. Castilla. Or you let me know, Mr. Harris.
Let's just call Cervantes.
All right.
I'll check with John.
All right, Mr. Cervantes, we'll call your case. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-03720, 25-00024, 24L29088831, 24L29088832, and 25L2879073. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record, Mr. Staples?
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
And sir, you are Anthony Cervantes, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can hear me all right, Mr. Cervantes?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial on these 5 matters. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I will put on the record, for the record, the terms of the city's offer. It is my understanding that Mr. Cervantes is turning down that offer and would like to request an adjournment. But the current offer was to plead to the DWLS and the no ops files with a deferred sentence and to dismiss all of the other civil infractions. It's my understanding that Mr. Cervantes would rather have an adjournment to try to get his license cleared up. As is customary, the city would not object to one adjournment to do so, with Mr. Cervantes's understanding that after that, the city would object to any additional adjournments. And so if he does wish to ultimately contest these charges, he may want to consult with an attorney.
All right, Mr. Cervantes, do you understand that one adjournment would be granted in order to seek some type of license restoration in this matter, usually 30 days out? But and my understanding is you've rejected the offer of the city of Lansing. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm trying to get my license back. Yes, sir.
All right. So the city does not have objection as usual per the city attorney's statement, and we'll adjourn for 30 days. Adjourn for 30 days for compliance purposes. And we'll reset this outside of 30 days for
March 3rd at 9.
March 3rd at 9 a.m.
All righty.
Hold on just a second now. March 3rd at 9 a.m. All right, this will be adjourned for March 3rd at 9 a.m. and you'll get notice sent to you that St. Joseph Street address. Is that still a good address for notification purposes, Mr. Cervantes?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, we'll adjourn for 30 days, March 3rd at 9 a.m. Anything else for the record in dockets on 2403-720, 2500-024 for the accompanying tickets, Mr. Staples?
No, nothing for the city, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Cervantes, we'll see you on the March 3rd at 9 a.m. date. All right, sir?
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And then we are ready on Mr. Doty, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So we'll bring back Mr. Doty.
If that's the question, I don't know. I'm not objecting for the adjournments.
You want to go on Mr. Doty?
Yep.
All right, so we're on the record in the docket 2403-790. That is the city of Lansing versus Stephen M. Doty. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Sir, you are Stephen Doty, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And you can hear me all right, Mr. Doty?
Yes, I can, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a city of Lansing pre-trial. Mr. Staples, how we proceed?
Your Honor, the city has offered Mr. Doty to plead to the hinder and oppose and dismiss the failure to display with a Killebrew agreement to no upfront jail. And Mr. Doty, it is my understanding that he wishes to avail himself of that offer.
All right. So my understanding of the plea offer is to plea to the hinder and oppose. And the jail to display ops count 2 would be dismissed. So count 1 would be the hinder oppose, count 2 the fail to display ops. Dismissed. Hinder and oppose is punishable by 90 days in jail and or a $500 fine. And there is a Killebrew agreement between Mr. Doty and the city of Lansing that there be no upfront jail in the matter. Is that a fair statement, Mr. Staples?
It is, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Doty, is that a fair statement? Your request is to plead guilty to count 1, the 90-day or $500 fine with the Killebrew agreement of no upfront jail with the city of Lansing.
Yes, it is.
All right. So that means that if I was to give you any upfront jail on this matter, you'd have the opportunity to withdraw your plea. You understand that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right.
That's fine.
You have the following jury trial rights, and sir, you are not represented by counsel today. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. You have the following jury trial rights, and I'll walk you through each one of those jury trial rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, to have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you, to have the court order any witnesses appear in your defense, to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. You also have the right to counsel. You are waiving each one of these jury trial rights in order to plead guilty to this matter. Is that your wish today, to waive your jury trial rights?
Yes, sir.
All right. If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was the result of any promises other than what's been stated on the record, or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You're also giving up the right to appeal any issues from a trial. Since you won't be having a trial, you'll be pleading guilty instead. Is it your wish today to plead guilty to the hinder, oppose, the 90-day misdemeanor, and or $500?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to have you raise your right hand as best you can. Do you solemnly swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to April 4th of 2024 at the offense location of Morgan Lane, East Michigan Avenue in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you operating a motor vehicle on that day in the city of Lansing at Morgan Lane, East Michigan Avenue?
Yes, I was.
All right. And at some point in time, did you hinder and oppose Officer Stelgis and Officer Rotuno, who were assisting an officer in pulling over the vehicle?
Yes.
What did you do? So what did you do, Mr. Doty?
I was driving the wrong way down a one-way, and they pulled me over and said I was going the wrong way, and I said I was not. They said, yes, you were. I said, no, I wasn't. So.
And did they try to handcuff you at the time?
Yes.
And did you resist being handcuffed?
Yes.
Okay. Anything towards a factual basis, Mr. Staples?
Nothing further from the city, Your Honor.
All right. I find the factual basis for the hinder and oppose to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. It appears, does the city have any thought on immediate sentencing, Mr. Staples?
City would not be opposed to immediate sentencing, Your Honor, especially given the filigree in this.
All right. All right, Mr. Doty, the court will go to immediate sentencing. This was an interim bond was set. Do you have any time in on this matter?
No.
I will follow the Killebrew agreement of no upfront jail. I will set fines at $100. Costs at $100. Crime victims' rights fee of $75. State fee of $50. For a grand total of $325 to the city of Lansing on this hinder and oppose ticket, or I should say warrant. And Mr. Doty, do you need some time to make that payment to the city of Lansing?
No, I don't.
Okay. let's give you through the week, all right? If you don't need any time, and we'll just set it through the week. So you have, as of this week, which would be February 7th, payment to be made to the city of Lansing for the city of Lansing for $325. And Mr. Doty, that can be made online, in person, or at the counter. And you have till Friday, February 7th to make that $325 payment. All right, sir?
Very good.
Anything else for the record in 2403-790, Mr. Staples?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Doty, you should be all set. Payment will be due by this Friday. All right, sir?
Thank you.
Thank you. You're all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Then Mr. Carries, were you ready?
Yes, we are ready on Castilla and Hobbs, Your Honor.
All right. Let's go on Miss Castilla. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-00500. That is the city of Lansing versus Castilla. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
James Harris here on behalf of the County Public Defender's Office and Ms. Castilla.
And ma'am, you are Castilla Castilla, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, thank you. This is time set for a city of Lansing pretrial in the matter. This is set for final pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Castilla is availing herself of a right to the jury trial.
That is correct, Your Honor. We spoke regarding the offer and she indicated she was not interested with the offer and would like to exercise her right to a jury trial.
All right.
I guess I will state for the record, Your Honor, the offer of the city of Lansing was to plead to a breach of the peace civil infraction.
All right. With that understanding, we'll set for jury trial. There's a PR bond on this file. Oh, but then it was a bench warrant out of November 12th. And then it was set at 100 cash surety as of December 16th. So that's the accumulation of time. Is anything else holding Miss Castilla?
I do know, Your Honor, that she has a case set for, I believe, final pretrial in your docket tomorrow.
Okay.
Give me just a
So
moment.
she's been just to make sure she's collecting time on this file. So my time is she's been in since December 16th. Have 100 cash surety.
They would have PR'd her on this after 7 days, so I think somebody else is holding her.
Well, there's another file. Unless there's another file that we don't know about. All right. All right, so let's set for jury trial.
Your Honor, I do see here in our system, there's a felony case up at circuit court set for sentencing on the 20th.
On February 20th?
Yes.
All right. Well, this date will be past that one for sure. So, all right. So we set for jury trial with the. That's what's keeping her in. She's up. She's here. She's up on a circuit court because they would have PR'd her on the misdemeanor. All right.
That would be my guess as well,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
All right. We'll set for jury trial on this file for
March 17th at 8:15.
March 17th at 8:15. All right, so we've set for jury trial on March 17th at 8:15. And then we'll await what happens in circuit court. Obviously, that's what's kind of holding her. Anything else for the record in 24-00500, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
Nothing from the defense, Your
All
Honor.
right, Ms. Castillo, you've been set for jury trial on March 17th at 8:15. Then who is the second one, Mr.?
Mr. Willie Hobbs, Your Honor.
Hobbs. Okay. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24-03340. That is the City of Lansing versus Willie Hobbs. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
James Harris here on behalf of the Union County Public Defender's Office and Mr. Hobbs.
And sir, you are Willie Hobbs, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
I'll defer to Mr. Harris.
Mr. Harris.
Your Honor, we would be requesting an adjournment to see if he can get his license issues resolved and consider any potential offers from the city.
So this is a request from the defense for an adjournment and for compliance purposes. This was adjourned once before on January 6th for compliance purposes and for negotiations to continue. Mr. Staples, what do you say on behalf of the city?
Your Honor, I do believe this is somewhat tied into getting a license transfer from another state. The city would leave it to the discretion of the court whether or not to grant another adjournment. You know, it's the city's position with the court in general's move and preference towards deferred sentencing to have fewer adjournments, but again, we would leave that at the court's discretion.
If Mr. Hobbs has indicated we would adjourn, but this will be the final adjournment for the request for compliance purposes. And I know you're working within the bureaucracy of getting things, trying to move things around, and I know that takes time. Okay.
Yes,
So we'll grant the request for adjournment for 30 days out for compliance purposes.
March 3rd at 9.
And we'll set for March 3rd at 9 a.m. And then, Mr. Hobbs, if we're not able to resolve this matter by March 3rd, then we'll decide what our options are.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So I've reset this for March 3rd at 9 o'clock. Anything else for the record in 24-03340 or the accompanying ticket, Mr. Staples?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
No, Your Honor.
You should be all set. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hobbs.
Thank you, sir.
Wait for Mr. Hobbs.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
And then we have,
Yeah, is she just going to be taking the offer? Yeah, that's fine.
so who are we going on, Mr. Lee?
Ms. Bullock, Your Honor.
Mr. Bullock?
That about me.
Anyway, see if Mr. Harry's had anything. But I was assuming Mr. Lee did. All right. So let's go on Brianna Bullock and is that okay? I have one person on the iPhone. Got 3 person on the iPhone. All right. So we're on the record in docket 24-03528. That is the City of Lansing versus Brianna Bullock. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Catherine Nichols Linedecker, Your Honor, if you may, for the City of Lansing in this matter.
All right, and it's Miss Linedecker.
Yes, Linedecker, Leindecker, P801447, Your Honor.
Perfect. All right, and then Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender John Lee appearing on behalf of, Brianna Bullock.
And ma'am, you are Brianna Bullock. Right. Thank you. This is the time set for a pretrial in the matter. Ms. Linedecker, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, it's my understanding that Ms. Bullock wishes to move forward with the offer from the City of Phil to report. I will let public defender speak on that.
All right, Mr. Lee.
That is correct, Your Honor. Ms. Bullock has decided to accept the offer to plead guilty to an amended charge of failure to report.
Failed to report. And does that come under the same auspices of a 90-day misdemeanor? Or is that a civil infraction?
That is a 90-day misdemeanor, Your
So
Honor.
it's 90 days and or $500.
$100 is what I
$100.
should.
All right, so that's your understanding, Ms. Bullock, is you'll be pleading guilty to the amended count of failing to report the 90-day misdemeanor and or $100. Is that correct? All right. Counsel may inquire of your client of their misdemeanor advice of rights.
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Bullock, you have the following jury trial rights in this misdemeanor plea, and I'll walk you through each one of those rights. You have the right to be tried by a jury, to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, have the prosecutor prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, to have witnesses against you appear at trial, to question any witnesses that are brought against you. You are represented today by Attorney John Lee, and you'd be present to cross-examine any witnesses or contest any charges at trial brought against you by the people of the city of Lansing. Do you understand that, ma'am?
I do.
You have the right to have court ordering witnesses appear in your defense, to remain silent during the trial, not to have that silence used against you, and to testify at trial if you choose to testify. Do you understand your jury trial rights in this matter, ma'am?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
If your plea is accepted, you'll give up the claim the plea was a result of any promises other than what's stated on the record or threats that it was not your choice to plead guilty. You'll also be giving up the right to appeal any issues from trial. Since you won't be having a trial, you'll be pleading guilty instead. Is it your wish today to plead to the amended offer of failing to report? Is there anything that goes, is that failing to report in general, or just failing to, that's all I have, it's failing to report.
It's my understanding that it simply failed to report an accident and non-moving violation.
Non-moving violation.
Well, the defenders indicate that that's accurate.
All right, and that's your understanding. It's a plea today would be to the fail to report an accident, non-moving violation.
That's correct.
All right, and it is your wish today to plead guilty to that, man. All right, that comes with a 90-day. That comes with the potential for a 90-day incarceration and or $100. All right, you understand that? All right. I'm going to have you raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? All right. I'm going to bring your attention back to 2021 East Michigan Avenue at or near Fairview Avenue in the city of Lansing, Ingham County. Were you operating a motor vehicle at or near in the city of Lansing, East Michigan at North Fairview Avenue on November 27th, 2024? And at that time, did you fail to report a non-moving accident to the police? Okay. And when you did that, you purposely did not report the accident. All right. Anything towards a factual basis, Ms. Leidendecker?
I would only note, Your Honor, that's a non-moving violation,
Right.
rather than a non-moving accident, just so the record's clear, but nothing further.
So a non-moving violation. And I've got, what's the code? So there's not, is there a PAC code on that? Just because I don't want them to confuse it with the other one. You have that, Mr. Lee?
Report, yeah. It's 1650 is the
Charge code from the Secretary of State.
Okay. All right, just so they have the correct abstracting of this. Mr. Lee, any questions concerning the factual basis?
No, sir.
All right. I find the factual basis to be knowing, voluntarily, and accurately made. Any thoughts? Is there any restitution in this matter?
Potentially, Your Honor.
So
we are-
refer to probation?
Yes, please. That would be our request.
So we'll refer to probation mostly for, take a look, driving history, and mostly, ma'am, to see if there's any restitution in this matter. And so that's on the 5th floor of City Hall of Lansing. And we'll set our sentencing date for
March 31st. At 1:30.
March 31st at 1:30. So we'll set the date on March 31st at 1:30 to see what options are available to us. They'll prepare a report for me, and then we'll go from there. All right, ma'am? Anything else for the record in 2403-528, Ms. Leidendecker?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Lee?
Nothing further. Thank you.
All right, ma'am, you should be all set. if you go down to the 5th floor now, they'll either set an appointment up or maybe see you right now, all right? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Mr. Jeffries, we'll call your case in just a second, all right?
All right, thank you very much.
All right. And then who's got Mr. Jeffries from the Public Defender's Office? What's that?
I have Mr.
All right.
Jeffries, yes.
So you probably want to meet with him before. And then Mr. Staples, who did you want to go on? Did you-
If we could, oh, I'm sorry. If we could go on O'Brien, Your Honor, we've got a private attorney here and
All
he's
right.
been very patient with us this
All
morning.
right, and then Mr. Lee, did you want to be placed in a room with Mr. Jeffries?
That would be great.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Jeffries, I'm gonna put you in room 1. You'll get a prompt to go to room 1. And then once Mr. Lee joins us, I'm gonna put Mr. Lee from the Public Defender's Office in that same room. So Mr. Jeffries, you should get a prompt to go to room 1. All right, so we're on the record in docket 24L2858151. That is the City of Lansing versus Kathleen O'Brien. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples, on behalf of the City of Lansing.
Mr. Neal.
Good morning, Your Honor. Rico Neal, appearing on behalf of Mrs. O'Brien, who is present at council table, standing to my right. Ms. O'Brien, please identify yourself for the record.
Hi, my name is Kathleen O'Brien.
All right, thank you, Ms. O'Brien. This is the time set for a formal hearing on a PBT refusal. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding today?
Your Honor, the people would be offering an amended charge of impeding traffic, and I believe Ms. O'Brien would be accepting responsibility for that.
That's a
amended
civil
charge.
infraction?
Correct, Your Honor.
Is that a fair statement, Mr. Neal?
That's correct and accurate, Your Honor. My client intends to accept the offer.
And if I remember that correctly, that is a 0-point offense.
Right.
And what's the fine on that?
I believe it is
135
135 based on the new schedule, Your Honor.
And you'll be accepting responsibility on behalf of your client, Mr. Neal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so we're working from the same, just so we're working from the same ticket. This is a ticket involving 245-191-174 for offense that occurred on December 8th, 2024. It is your admission on behalf of your client that your client did impede traffic in the city of Lansing at that date on December 8th, 2024.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Thank you. Then I will enter a payment to the city of Lansing for the fine of $135. And Mr. Neal does that. Does your client need some time to make that payment?
My client will make that payment today, Your Honor.
Okay. So we will give to the, just so we have it. So payment to be made to the city of Lansing for $135. Be made today per the client's request. That can be made online, in person, or at the counter for $135. Anything else for the record in docket 24L2858151, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Mr. Neal?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, you should be all set, Ms. O'Brien. Thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here who isn't represented by the Public Defender's Office? But we've already talked to anyone other than you who isn't. Sorry. Anyone we haven't talked to yet who isn't represented. Yeah, that's one. Correct. And Mrs. Sterling, you will be requesting a public defender now? Okay. I think we are on hold for the moment.
All right, I have a couple of civil, let's see. I gotta pull those up.
Where you go?
All right, Mr. Lee, you wanted to meet with Mr. Jeffries?
Oh, he's gonna come in.
Yes, sir.
I guess you can try to find here.
So you should get a prompt to go to room 1.
Thank you.
Mr. Whitty, I think we can call your case.
Morning.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Whitty. So we're on the record in docket 2408627. That is Patrick Coombs versus Victor Smith. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Whitty.
Thank you, Your Honor. Norman Whitty appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, Patrick Coombs.
All right. And this is the time set for a second hearing today. I do not see a Victor Smith, but I'm going to identify a couple people in the Zoom room.
Victor Smith is here.
You're here, Mr. So you are Victor Smith?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Smith, so let's have you renamed. I'll rename you. And Mr. Smith, you missed the first meeting you had today. This is actually the second hearing. You missed the first one, which was on January 15th. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Whitty, how did you want to proceed today?
Well, Your Honor, I'd be happy to meet with Mr. Smith in a breakout room. My client's
All
not
right.
able to be here today, but maybe we can make some progress.
Right. That would be my thought, is that we probably have to adjourn this matter to set it on, because this is set for a default day. But this would give you the opportunity to speak with Mr. Whitty, because you've yet to have a pretrial on this matter, Mr. Smith. But in the meantime, I can put you in a breakout room with Mr. Whitty if you're amenable, and you can talk to him about some of the legal issues that led to the filing of this complaint. Mr. Smith, would you like the opportunity to speak with Mr. Whitty concerning this matter?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go ahead and so Mr. Whitty, I'm gonna place you in room 2, and I'll put Mr. Smith in room 2, and then when we're all set, we can come back and put it on the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So you should get a prompt to go to room 2, and Mr. Smith, you'll also get a prompt to go to room 2.
Okay.
Mr. Lum, are you ready to go on Jose LeBron?
I am, Your Honor, yes.
All right. So we're on the record in docket 2408-639. That is Michael Penta versus Jose LeBron. Will the parties please introduce themselves to the record? Mr. Lum.
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Lum on behalf of the plaintiff.
And is there in the Zoom courtroom a Jose LeBron? On the iPhone, can you identify yourself? And you'll have to unmute. On the iPhone, you're just labeled yes. What's your name?
Rendell Allen.
Say it again.
Rendell Allen.
Rendell Allen. Okay. All right. I'm going to rename you. Oh, you already got it. All right. So, Mr. Lum, I do not see a Jose LeBron in the Zoom courtroom. Nobody's answering that name in the hallway. Is there a Jose LeBron in the physical courtroom? With that understanding, it would appear that once again, the tenant has failed to appear for landlord-tenant hearing. This was previously set for January 15th, and it's the second hearing. I would indicate that the tenant has failed to appear for the second hearing. This was set for 10 o'clock, and it is now 10:28. Mr. Lum, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, we would request a default possession judgment.
All right. Did you want to place any terms on the record?
We did not ask for any money in the complaint, so we're just seeking possession.
All right.
I believe is the writ date I have is February 14th. Is that what the court has?
Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13th? Have the 13th?
Okay. Yep. February 13th.
All right. So we'll set it. So for possession only. To the best of your knowledge, Mr. LeBron is not a minor incapacitated in the military service, and the premises was kept for its intended purpose. Is that correct, Mr. Lum?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. And the order to follow for possession will be advanced to the court?
Yes, Your Honor. Can I file through my file? Is that?
Yes, please.
I will submit that momentarily.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lum. You should be all set in file 2408-639. Mr. Lum, if you have nothing else, thank you for your appearance today.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
You too. We're back on the record in docket 2408-627. Mr. Whitty, did you have the opportunity to speak with Mr. Smith in a breakout room?
I did, Your Honor, and we're not at a point where we can reach an agreement on any of this yet. But hopefully he can kind of chip away at it between now and the hearing. I would request that the court advise him of his rights since we didn't have a first pretrial, that we just set this for a trial date, and hopefully by then we can get something in place.
All right. So what I'm going to do is we'll treat this as a pretrial, Mr. Smith, and we're going to set this a formal hearing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video, and you should take down any names or numbers you think are important, and then we'll give you a formal hearing date in the future to be used. All right, sir? You have to unmute.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me find so let's get the formal hearing date first. We'll set for formal hearing.
February 19th at 2.
February 19th at 2 o'clock. So you are set for February 19th at 2 o'clock for formal hearing on this matter. And then Mr. Smith, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play you a video right now. And at that time, in the meantime, you should take down any numbers. It's going to indicate that you have your rights in this matter. It's also going to indicate a number for legal services. If you choose that option, you should contact legal services with the number that's provided. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. You have that date, Mr. Whitty?
I do, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and complete that hearing. And then, Mr. Smith, I'm going to go ahead and play you a video. And after the video is done, you should be all set. All right, sir?
Yes, sir.
Video today. I know.
Welcome to the 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that may be available to assist you. Please have paper Welcome and a to the pen 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights you. and resources If you do not that have may an be attorney available and to you can assist afford you. an attorney, Welcome to the 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that may be available to assist you. Please have paper Welcome and a to the pen 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that may be available to assist you. An attorney, Please have paper. Welcome to the 54A District Court. Please listen carefully for information about your rights and resources that
All right, so we're having trouble with the video right now. So, Mr. Smith, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you come back this afternoon and we're going to play you the video, okay?
Okay.
So if you come back at 1:30, I'll play you the video. And that's just as a part of the pretrial. That allows us to use the second hearing as a pretrial. And then we've already set it for formal hearing. All right, sir?
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any
John, if
questions,
I don't
Mr.
attend at
Whitty?
1:30. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, you don't have to attend at 1:30. This is really just to play him the video, which for some reason we're having trouble playing right now. As you can tell, it's overlapping or
Seems to be.
something to that effect. All right.
It's not supposed to be performed as a round.
That's exactly right. It's certainly not supposed to sound like that.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Smith, if you come back at 1:30, I'll play you the video, and Mr. Whitty, you should be all set.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right. I'm sorry, we're on the record in docket 22L2748022. That is the City of Lansing versus William Dickens. Will the parties please introduce themselves for the record? Mr. Staples.
Matt Staples, on behalf of the city of Lansing.
Mr. Harris.
James Harris here on behalf of the Union County Public Defender's Office and Mr. Dickens.
And sir, you are William Dickens, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This is the time set for a City of Lansing pretrial. Mr. Staples, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Dickens has another set of charges before this court on February 24th for an OWI and a couple other pendant charges. If we could have this adjourned to that date, I think we would be looking to try to make a global resolution at that time, Your Honor.
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll adjourn. Are those City of Lansing cases also?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we'll adjourn to February 24th at, we'll put it at the same time with the other.
I'm trying to find it.
It helps I have the case number.
I only show him with one pending case on that day.
The case number we have is 24-03421OD.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
and that's I think that's an operating while intoxicated.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, we'll adjourn to February 24th at what time?
10 o'clock.
All right, we'll adjourn to February 24th at 10 o'clock to be consulted with the other file that's pending in front of the court for a global resolution. Anything else for the record in 22L2748022, Mr. Staples?
Nothing for the city, Your Honor.
Mr. Harris?
Nothing for the defense, Your
All
Honor.
right, Mr. Dickens, we'll see you on February 24th at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We get you.
Either the interpreter or I know Mr. Lang has permanent. Yeah, she's gonna be requesting a public defender now. So I guess